A side effect of living a long, healthy life is you unfortunately get to see the people you care about die. It's a sad reality that one of you got to go first, either you or the person you care about. So this is a point where you start to reflect and think, what is the most important thing going on in your life? What are you working for? What are you doing this all for? What is the meaning of life? If you recognize this disgusting wall completely covered in chewing gum, then you know where I am. I am in Seattle, Washington. And this wall just goes on covered in nasty chewing gum. It's creative, it's pretty cool, but it's just gross. Anyway, I had an interesting week. Two significant things happened in my life. However, one eclipsed the other. The first one is I got the privilege of sitting in a $9 million 1962 Ferrari 250 Lusso, GT Lusso. Okay, it's not every day you get to play with a car that's worth $9 million. The second thing that happened, I found out that someone who I cared about, who was a little bit older in years, geriatric years, okay, had passed away, and I didn't know about it until, just now. And you know what it makes you realize? That $9 million Ferrari has so little meaning relative to the person who I miss. You know, it's like, holy cow, how little meaning and how the materialism has. And then you kind of start reflecting on how that relates to business. Well, what are you working for? You're working to make money because you want life freedom and to buy fun toys, and in my case, travel to fun places here in Seattle, or, tomorrow I'm going to Tokyo. It's great. It's a good life. But what is the purpose? And it's important to start reflecting on the end goal. What are you working towards? Are you working towards financial stability? Because that's very admirable and necessary. Or are you trying to be the show-off who's got that Lamborghini and, 6 other fancy cars in the garage that you can't really afford it, but you're only going to lease them because you're making enough money today, but not to actually purchase them, okay? It makes you start to reflect on what's the point of what you're doing. And it's an important reflection because it also should impact how much of your work-life balance is a good idea. Like, is it a good idea to spend more time working or more time pleasure? At what point do you need to throw the towel in on your work and say, this is the time to come on out to Seattle, Washington, and go take a ride on that giant Ferris wheel, which is kind of blocked by the trees. It's up to you to determine your work-life balance and what's important, okay? It's very clear as you lose human beings that you care about in life that what's really important is the time spent with them. And the money is a tool to give yourself that freedom to spend it with the people you care about instead of spending it working, okay? If you're getting paid by the hour, you're going to be working multiple jobs to live well. If you're getting paid for your intelligence and your intellect, for your business savvy, those are the things that give you the life freedom to spend the time with the people you care about. And that's something very difficult to achieve for the majority of the world. My friend's got an older kid and he's starting to plan out his career. My friend was asking me for some advice. His kid wants to do something that has a financial ceiling, a career he enjoys and is passionate about, but isn't something that is going to be particularly lucrative. And it's not even an easy career. It's something that takes a lot of years of education. I don't want to point exact fingers, but there's a lot of things that fall into that exact role. Okay, careers that require lots and lots of study time and have a limited ceiling of financial opportunity. And my friend was asking me if he thinks like he should let his kid continue with this, or should coach him to do something that the kid don't really want to do, but is going to be more lucrative. And honestly, if you asked me that question 10 years ago, I would have said, go do the lucrative thing, hands down. I'm not so sure. Because when it comes down to it, life happiness is what you're really working for. No matter what you're doing, you're trying to build your own happiness. Why else are you working? You're trying to gain happiness. So if that's what you're trying to do, and that's what makes him happy, I don't know, maybe it's not bad. I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm saying it's complicated. But the point is, make sure you're getting happiness out of what you do. Every person is driven by different needs and different desires. Personally, I want life freedom, to do as I please, to travel where I want. And that requires financial stability, okay? And financial independence in particularly. So you can't do that on the career this kid wants to do. He's gonna be working in like a 9 to 5 and getting paid by the hour for what he wants. Okay, but if that brings him happiness and is what he's seeking, maybe it's right for him. I don't have the answer, and for me, I know only for me. I don't have the answer for you, for him, for anybody else. But I do think that life happiness is probably the main reason you're working, other than feeding yourself and staying afloat. But once you're past that point of having financial stability, the main reason you're working is for happiness. So if you can be enjoying what you do to make money, that's the best, you know? Or determine what you need financially to be able to live life on your own terms, where you're making money and enough that you could just do as you please and meet those needs, because everyone's needs is different. There was a long time I wanted a yacht. And when I looked into what it takes to keep a yacht, maintenance-wise, dockage, all this stuff, I said, oh, hell no. I just want to rent a yacht and borrow it for a few hours and take it with my friends. There's no way in hell I want to go through that kind of maintenance. There's also no way I want to walk up this hill while I'm talking onto the camera. That's too steep. But the point is, make sure you really have an idea what you're working towards, and you're not just doing it aimlessly. Obviously, sometimes you have to do it aimlessly when you're in a time of extreme need. Someone who's run out of money or is on the verge of it and needs quick finances, fine. But once you have stability enough that you can sharpen the saw, meaning stop trying to chop the tree down with a dull axe and rather stop, sharpen the saw, and then chop the tree down much quicker with a sharp saw, okay? I did say axe and saw. I meant the same for that. Never mind the example. This hill is just as steep. Oh well, I'm gonna walk it up anyway. It's beautiful. The point is, okay, it's important to take a step back and analyze what you're doing work-wise, career-wise, and determine if that's really what you should be doing for your end goal. Okay, yes, maybe you need to do this now, that's fine, but make sure it's meeting your end goal. Your end goal should be something that you want and you aspire in your life. Okay, a lot of people I know personally don't have real end goals at a career level. It's all personal matters. They want to spend time with family, they want to find a husband or a wife, get married, have kids. All these things are wonderful, but if that's the limit of your end goal, then all you need is financial stability. Stop looking at them Lamborghinis. Seriously. Wow, this beautiful street. I'm gonna go down here to take a break from climbing that hill. Look at this place. I have to say, Seattle as an urban city is really beautiful. Reminds me a little bit of Toronto, but even more beautiful. I think Seattle's more beautiful than Toronto, but it's a toss-up. Anyway, the point is, don't just work blindly. Don't just work blindly without an end goal. Make sure you know the reason that you're putting all that effort in. Think of how much effort most people put into work. It's roughly half of their waking hours. Sometimes a lot more than that. Depends on the person, if they're workaholics or whatever. Okay? But just make sure what you're doing is actually something that is what is getting you closer to your end goal, and not just something you're doing to keep up with the Joneses, or because somebody else on TikTok has a Lamborghini and that you want it, or you see that lifestyle. Wow, or you see this lifestyle. Look at that. That looks like a posh joint down there. You see other people's lifestyles and you're trying to copy, because honestly, it's not for everybody. Not everybody is even interested in that. There's a lot of things that I see wealthy people do that I have no interest in doing, even if I can't afford it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't interest me. I saw a video of someone popping open a fancy 100-year-old bottle of wine that was like a 5-digit price tag, like $10,000 US dollars, man, something like this. And I'm thinking in my head, man, what I could do with 10 grand that gives me so much more pleasure than a couple sips of wine. However, you talk to one of these wine connoisseurs, and they'll be very convincing as to why that's a big deal to them. So I get it. Every person's got their own thing that drives them, you know? But the point is, don't be driven by somebody else's fantasy or needs. Figure out for yourself what you need. Right now, what I need, the energy to get up one of these hills because my car's parked up there. All right, that's all I got for you today. Coming out to Seattle, Washington is a really beautiful place. Although I gotta say, it's very annoying how it shuts down. It's only 7:30 p.m. or 8 p.m. now. It's completely shut down. I am not used to that as a New Yorker. You know, the city never sleeps. But other than that, and the steep hills. Other than that, coming out to Seattle, Washington, like, share, subscribe. Do what you need to do to make sure you know what you're working for, and then you're not trying to work for somebody else's dream, but rather your own vision of what's important to you. By the way, a really interesting point of note, this Starbucks right behind me kind of looks like all the other Starbucks, in all honesty. It's the first Starbucks, the very first one. That was what got Starbucks started. You know, pretty cool place to be in here in Seattle. This is the inside of the first Starbucks store. You can see they got special exclusive merch that says First Starbucks Store on it. Pretty cool. Apparently there's lines of 90 minutes or long just to get in on a regular day. Good I got here at 7 a.m. I'm gonna be brutally honest. I had really low expectations from Starbucks. Like, I generally don't enjoy Starbucks coffee over like cheap 7-Eleven coffee. This is the best Starbucks coffee that I just got out of the original first Starbucks. I've never had a better one. It's got some kind of chocolate foam, cold brew, blah, blah, blah. It's delicious. I have to say, this is really great coffee. They said it's unique to this location. It's Pike's Place special reserve coffee beans. So quite thrilling, actually. Much better than expected. Yummy. Like, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next video.
Yeah!